Let's take that one then. See, will he look at any of the other ones? Seen that one?
A Gabrielle Steele film? No thanks, I'd rather not watch that tripe.
Oh, okay, so we can't look at any of the other ones. I guess one more thing we can do with the projector. If we run down to the bottom. We put that up and...
This is certainly a clue of some sort.
There's something there, but we can't see. So we'll run to the back again, we'll switch the projector back on and we'll see what we find. Oh, it says 3 days.
I wonder what that was all about.
I think that's everything done here now. I've spoken to those two. Just trying to keep track of who I've spoken to. Basically, I've just got to run around the entire house until I find someone. Oh, there we go. Here's Rogers looking at the door.
Oh, Mr. Narracott. You startled me.
Sorry, Rogers. Rogers, what are you doing?
I've already locked the door between the kitchen and the dining room. No one will be able to play tricks with those sailor boy figures tonight, at any rate.
Who do you think the killer is?
Miss Claythorne, of course.
Why?
She brought the rhyme to our attention. She seems innocent of her crime. I think it's just a blind.
Aren't you innocent of your crime?
We're not talking of me, sir. And she's the least likely suspect with drunken doctors, wily judges, religious zealots, cowardly hunters, and you, whatever you are, running about.
Usually it's the butler who's the least likely suspect.
Not where I come from, sir.
Any idea who Mr. Owen's next victim might be?
Miss Claythorne.
But you said she was Mr. Owen.
Did I? Then Miss Brent.
Why?
There's something terrible about her. There's hard steel under those frumpy clothes. Mark my words. Owen would do well to polish her off before she gets her knitting needles into him.
Very kind of you to give me your time, Mr. Rogers.
He seemed confused. First he thought Mr. Owen would be Vera, and then he said that she'd be the next victim.
Locked.
Great, no one can get in there now. Where shall I go? Let's try up the stairs. Some of them might be sitting in their bedrooms. No, not this one. Let's try the doctor's room. Aha.
Dr. Armstrong?
What? What? I must say, I don't think much of this barging in on people when they are...
Ministering to the sick?
I don't find that amusing, sir. Not in the slightest.
Dr. Armstrong, if it will relieve your mind at all, I don't think there's anyone alive on this island who truly believes you are a teetotaler.
Somehow that doesn't relieve my mind one bit.
You protest too much, then eye the drinks tray as if it were manna from heaven. You sneak off to your room to freshen up every chance you get.
All right, Mr. Narracott, you've made your point. What do you want?
The doctor's a raging drunk.
Who do you think is the killer?
Miss Brent. Knitting. Always knitting. Like Madame Defarge in A Tale of Two Cities. Madame Defarge knitted the names of those destined for the guillotine. Revenge, sir. It seems an apt analogy. Also, I don't much like Bible thumpers.
Have you any proof?
Proof, sir, is for the police. I have a doctor's instincts. My instinct tells me that anyone that self-righteous and repressed might easily turn to murder. What did she call Mrs. Rogers' death? An act of God. A woman like that could easily cast herself in the role of God's sword.
Any idea who Mr. Owen's next victim might be?
No idea, but I assure you I plan to see it as not I.
Better lock your door then, Doctor. I walked right in. If you'll excuse me, Doctor.
Okay, so I think it's just the judge we have to talk to. Pretty sure we checked his room. He wasn't there. I wonder where he is. I think I can remember actually. Let's leave here. Oh, I don't know. Was that the room I was just going? Might be. No, this is Blow's room. Let's leave here. I want to go to the General's room. It's not that one, I don't think. Might be this one. That's one of the women's rooms. I think that's Brent's room. I'll try this one just in case. It's Lombard's. See, why can't they have names like on the doors? It'd make this so much easier.
Come here, Mr. Narracott. Don't be shy, it's only me.
Communing with the dead, Judge?
In a way, the law is much like necromancy. We delve, the dead give up their secrets.
What has General Mackenzie told you?
Notice the picture of his dear wife. Leslie, I believe he said her name was. The glass has been smashed, perhaps by the same blunt object that did for the General.
But why?
If we knew that, we might be further along in our inquiries, don't you think? If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it has something to do with love. It's one of the prime motives, you know. Greed, revenge, and love. Love has killed as many as either of the other two.
Who do you think the killer is?
Lombard is a man used to killing. He freely admits it. It could be a classic double bluff, plead that he is guilty so that we assume his innocence. He's used to taking matters into his own hands. If he suddenly decided for whatever reason that 10 people had to die, I doubt he'd sit still for natural causes.
Any idea who Mr. Owen's next victim will be?
If I were you, Mr. Narracott, I'd watch my own back. Blore is all bluster. I'm past my prime. Armstrong is easily manipulated. Miss Brent's Bible provides all her answers. Miss Claythorne is like a deer caught in onrushing headlights, which is why I suppose you and Mr. Lombard find her so attractive.
You don't miss much, do you?
I miss nothing. And if it doesn't seem too egotistical of me, I can't help feeling that Mr. Owen knows that. Even intended this mystery for me. Why, I can't say, but he didn't count on you, my young friend. I'm hoping that together we may yet thwart him.
Thank you kindly, Judge.
I think that's about it for this room. Just leave now. I think I've spoken to everybody now. I'm trying to think. Oh, I don't think I've spoken to Blow. I think I can remember where he was. Yeah, some of them basically they just put you have to go and talk to everybody and they'll decide to just put them in completely random places. I don't want to go that way. I can't actually because it's locked. We already know that Blow isn't in his room because we went in there earlier. we're going to go into the servants' quarters.
The body was thoroughly searched. No need to disturb it now.
See what I mean about these sheets? See, like, the shape of the body there. There's, like, one there. It's, like, the floating sheets. Creepy. Ah, here he is. In the last place you'd expect to find him.
How goes the investigation, Blore?
Better than yours, I'll wager.
Who do you think the killer is?
Rogers, of course. In my experience, it's almost always a servant. And he's the only one still standing.
Roger's background seems like an open book. He may have had a motive for killing his wife, but why kill the others?
The judge thinks it's a maniac. That's motive enough.
Even maniacs have motives that make sense to them.
Perhaps. Not being one, I wouldn't have an opinion about that.
Any idea who Mr. Owen's next victim will be?
I'm the biggest threat to him. A professional investigator. He's lucky he's gone undetected this long. I'm closing in and he knows it.
That'll do, Mr. Blore. Everyone should be asleep by now. Those still awake must certainly be up to no good. Present company excluded, of course.
Of course. Not sure what I'm supposed to do now. Hopefully it'll become obvious. It's very dark in here. Do I go upstairs or? Oh, I'll check if the dining room door is still locked.
It's locked fast.
Yep, still locked. Okay, we'll go upstairs and we'll see if everybody in their beds, as they should be, except for us, of course. Let's see. First door. This is the judge's room.
Locked.
Sometimes you can get in through the bathroom.
It's locked fast.
Not this time, apparently. Doctor just doesn't care at all. He hasn't locked his door once since he's been here.
He's as tight as an owl. I expect nothing could wake him up. It's tightly locked.
This is a Lombard's room. Ah, Lombard isn't here.
No, Philip, you cannot come in.
My intentions are strictly honorable. I'm here to protect you.
I wouldn't believe him.
Patrick? Are you here to protect me as well?
If necessary.
Oh, that's very gallant of you. If true.
I only have your best interests at heart.
I too.
Gentlemen, I appreciate your concern, but I will be quite all right. I intend to put furniture in front of all my doors. We all need sleep, I think. Please excuse me.
A piece of advice, Narracott. You may get the killer, but I intend to get the girl.
And if she's the killer?
Well, that will make for some rather interesting evenings at home, won't it?
I think it's time for me to get some sleep. I can barely keep my eyes open.